I think what makes this powerful is that our customers are doing this. Our customers are doing this. They're listening to their customers. They are making this happen. And I'm extremely excited to actually share some of these examples. I'm going to start off with a great customer of ours called Black Lapel. They actually, I'm very lucky that they've made this beautiful sports coat that I'm wearing. And I'm going to play a short video of the Black Lapel team.
Black Lapel is a custom clothing company. We make tailored clothing in the tradition of menswear, but we've updated and revived some of those old traditions that used to be. When your grandfather went to get a suit, he went to his guy and he got a suit. Today, we're trying to bring that back. We're trying to be the guy that you go to get the suit.
The product, it's complex. It's necessarily complex given the customization, given the lengthy process that people have to take at home to take measurements. And so we realized that we have to create context around that product. We really have to get them to understand this isn't just a run-of-the-mill suit. This is a better experience. And so we had to create that demand ourselves. And how better to do that than to tell a story around it?
Content is king, but context is queen. One of the ways that I think a lot of marketers can get a little bit concerned is they don't necessarily control context. It's very easy for us as brand people to say, this is what our brand is, this is what we've decided, this is how people will eat the spinach. But it's not always that simple, and in the market, it's not that simple. So since we started using Conductor and Searchlight, we've been able to map all of our content not only to a buyer persona and a specific reader/consumer, but also we look at what stage they are in and build content in mind.
The way that we search for stories, the way that we ideate has improved significantly. Searchlight has a great feature in terms of keyword research. And it really lets us know that if we want to tell a particular story, is there actually people that want to listen to the story be told? And I think that's crucial because otherwise we'd be speaking into the unknown.
A piece of content that we did a while back that was how to pack a suit in a suitcase. Now that's not getting tons of search volume yet. The people who want to find that are exactly who we want to talk to. The momentum started when we wrote the story, but then when we looked at it through the lens of Searchlight, we updated the story and made some massive changes that really helped with that story. And actually, if you ask Google, to get back to context, how to pack a suit in a suitcase, the answer is our story. That's exactly what we want. I don't want to own and control the space in which you find that story altogether. I'm happy to share that space with Google because Google will happily share it with billions of people who will happily share our brand name and understand a little bit more about what we do.
Definitely worthy of clapping. The Black Lapel story, is a true example of how democratized organic marketing is because you don't have to be a giant company. You don't have to have huge budgets. You have to understand the customer. You have to give them what they want. Gary from the Black Lapel team, you guys here? Round of applause for you guys. Over here. You guys are awesome. Stay. All right, so we got a bunch of examples that we're gonna move through pretty quickly of companies that are actually doing this. And the first one up is a company that is near and dear to my heart, Scott's Miracle Gro. If you want to know why, you can ask me about the 200-pound pumpkin story for another conversation. But I believe we have Larissa from Scott's here. Larissa, you out there? Awesome. Tell us what we're looking at and why you did this.
Thanks, Seth. So this is an example of our traditional how-to lawn and garden content and educational content that we've primarily been focusing on to reach our core consumers through organic search, which has been our top performing traffic driver and produces the most qualified visitors to our site. But what we're most excited about is expanding that content strategy to focus on new individuals to the lawn and garden category. So this spring, we're actually launching a campaign around inspirational content tied to life moments, which could be in our category, buying that first home or planning an outdoor wedding. And our hope is that we can reach consumers earlier in the purchase journey and actually increase the size of our addressable audience.
Awesome, awesome. You don't have to hope because you guys are clearly doing it. This is awesome. Yeah, you look in Pinterest, their content showing up. All right, let's go to the next example. So this is Ticketmaster, which I'm sure we're all familiar with, but this does not look like we're selling any tickets here. Patty, you out there? Patty? Patty, what are we looking at, and why'd you guys do this?
Masters Insider. The goal of this is an e-commerce editorial platform to join the conversation, expand the awareness, and tap into the curiosity of that fan that is not aware their event is on sale. The goal is not to sell tickets, it's to influence the conversation. These are conversations that are happening in social, and we want to be part of them.
Awesome, great job, Patty. Always great to hear from you. All right, let's take a look at another company that I'm sure we're all very familiar with. Molly, are you out here? What are we looking at? Why'd you do this? What's up, Molly?
Hello. So, selling a product that is low interest, it is a grudge purchase, and nobody thinks about after they've installed them. We've been trying to figure out a way of servicing needs both pre-purchase and after purchase to maintain loyalty and to stay in the conversation. So over the past year, we've developed content that allows us to address consumer needs around tire care and maintenance care in order to make sure that we're bridging the gap between purchases and that Goodyear can stay relevant in the conversations.
Awesome, nice job. Keep up the good work. All right, I think we got a crew of people from Canon here. Where's the Canon crew? Round of applause for the Canon guys. Thank you guys for coming. So Josette's representing Canon. What are we looking at here, Josette?
Hi, Seth. So this is our printer buying guide. It's actually a brand new page that we just launched recently. The point of this page is to really grab the beginning of the buying stage, those people who really don't know what type of printer they're really looking for. We targeted our customer segmented personas. So we really based it, if you look on the page, there's professional, there's student, there's crafter. These are the type of segments we base our product group target on. So we base the content around that. We really targeted non-branded content for this page because Canon site as a whole is very branded. So we do very well with branded key terms. So this page really helps drive new traffic to our site with organic, non-branded search terms.
Awesome. Great job, Canon. So this is an example from Citibank that I'm just going to, we actually, Charbroil, all right, here, I saw it on the screen. So this is an example from Charbroil. So Charbroil is a Conductor customer. They're the leader in outdoor grills. And they were actually kind enough to share with us their internal customer journey map. Check this thing out. This thing is awesome. So just to walk you through here, right? Ongoing maintenance, breaking and fixing. If it's Charbroil, it's likely not to break for at least 10 years. Acquisition, decision to get a new grill, stop and research. And these are all the things that the customer goes through and how they think. And they actually have this in their office. And we're fortunate enough here at C3 to get to take a chance to look at this. Let's take a look at some of their content. And you can see here some pretty awesome stuff. I believe we have a gentleman named Matt Weiss here. Matt, what's up, man?
Hey, Seth.
Tell us what we're looking at. Why'd you do this stuff?
Yeah, so the journey map we developed to help identify content opportunity outside of traditional kind of recipe space as it's really crowded for us. So it's a way that we can speak to the customer along the long buying cycle that is gas grills, which is typically 5 to 7 years.
Awesome, Matt. Thank you. These guys are kicking ass. Look at this. Their stuff is all over the place, showing up in YouTube, showing up in search engines. Amazing job. Thank you, guys. Yeah, big round of applause to our fearless marketers. These guys are amazing. Well, what's exciting is we had so many of these examples because our customers are doing amazing things, big improvements since last year. And anyone who's wearing the shoes of a marketer knows that this is not easy. Especially, we use big company examples because it's even harder to get things done. But this stuff is not easy, and our goal is for this to serve as an inspiration to all of us. So thank you guys once again. So we talked about the customer, we've talked about the customer journey, and then we've shared some examples of how companies are reaching people in their journey. The next part is your journey as marketers. We know that this stuff is not easy, and from working kind of shotgun or sitting next to the folks that are doing this stuff is hard, and it's sometimes harder than it needs to be. And I often think about this. I mean, I think about why is there challenges? I mean, we get that there's a huge opportunity. I mean, you don't need me up here to tell you that the upside is huge, that it's much more cost effective when you do it right. You make a piece of content, people find it's whatever, right? You're not paying every time someone's coming, and most importantly, it's what people want. So we all get that. But if you look on the other side of this, you got a lot of dependencies. If you think about most things that we do in marketing, you kind of can hire an agency and they can do it for you. You can use a credit card and get it done. But with the stuff that we're talking about here, you got to get product teams involved. You got to get writing teams involved. It's very cross-functional. And we're not, we're just collaborating is hard. Everybody's got different goals. So it's one of the biggest challenges. The other challenge is that you can't just outsource this stuff. You can't just give it to someone and just to go and do it. I mean, like you take Scott's, for example, right? They work with Conductor. They have an in-house team. They work with the team at Acronym. I mean, there's a lot that goes into being successful. And another big problem is just hard to measure. It's hard to measure. It's hard to get the ROI. And these are some big obstacles. So we really, we've got a few things set up to just talk about how we overcome these obstacles. And what I'm excited to do is actually call up a very quick C3 first. We're going to do a quick power panel here. And I'm really excited to call up some really great marketers. So come to the stage. So come on up whenever you're ready. Ashley from BirchBox, Joseph from Education Dynamics, Ashley from American Family Insurance, and MK from Bandwidth.com. Give a round of applause.
Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness.
What's up, guys? Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, so we're going to start with Ashley B. And just really quick, who you are and what you're responsible for.
Sure. So hi, my name is Ashley Wolf-Berman from BirchBox. I head up the digital marketing team there. If you're not familiar with BirchBox, we are a discovery site for beauty and grooming. We have a subscription service and then sell everything full size as well. So just a quick plug, if you're looking for something last minute for the holidays, think about BirchBox. So my role at BirchBox is actually overseeing digital marketing, which is primarily paid marketing, but I recently brought on some of the SEO and organic as well. So that gives me the opportunity to look at kind of efficiencies between both channels and figure out, where can we save and do things better in organic search to help us provide better content to our customers and the best experience and the most efficient one for our business.
Good morning. Joseph Haslam, Education Dynamics. We help students find great higher education programs and the universities find the right students. I have everything from SEO, social media, a little bit of display advertising.
So I'm Ashley Mortimer. I'm with American Family Insurance, and I head up internal, external, and local search. So we have 3,500 locations, so that's a challenge that we're always overcoming, and that's what American Family does.
And I'm MK Alderman. I'm with Republic Wireless, and we're a startup based out of Raleigh, North Carolina, and we provide a B2C smartphone service that leverages voice over IP or VoIP technology to provide cell phone service over both Wi-Fi networks and traditional cellular networks.
Great. Thank you. Thank you for being here. So tell us what the one or two of your biggest challenges in doing organic marketing.
Okay, back to me. So I think challenge is at our organization. Organic marketing and SEO lives amongst so many different teams. So I mentioned a couple within subscriptions business. Obviously, there's certain product pages. There's the marketing team that works with that. We've got editorial for both men's and women's businesses. We've got Lorelei from our team is speaking later today about some of our video and the custom content. So obviously we've got this connection between the content that we create for our customers and getting him and her to shop with us. So the biggest obstacle has just been kind of like rallying the troops. And when I started at BirchBox just a few months ago, there was no dedicated team. So like I sit on the marketing team, but SEO didn't sit underneath that. It sits across many teams. So the first thing we did is just bring the people who are working on SEO and inviting some new people to the team as well across each of the departments that I mentioned onto one kind of cross-functional team. Today, it's no one's job, 100%. And I've been talking with the other panelists just to kind of like share learnings about what works, because in all honesty, we don't have one expert who's focusing on it, but we've been really just thinking about all the members of the team and how can we kind of empower them to be responsible for those smaller efforts and then bring it up to one larger effort for SEO.
Great. Joseph, what are your obstacles?
Well, I think the obstacle's kind of generic. I mean, we live in a world where it used to be annual results, then quarterly results. Now it's result of the month, result of the week, result of the day even. And quite frankly, the PPC people can get the attention. They can make something, turn something on, and get a result today. And when the SEO people go and say, well, we have this great idea, and 6, 7, 8, 9 months from now, you'll see all this result, it doesn't get a lot of play with the CEO. And so that's the real challenge that we face in the industry, is getting the resources, because even when they come and ask you, they say, I tell them, look, you're getting this with pay-per-click. 6, 9 months from now, I can get you 25 times that traffic with SEO. And they're like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure. I said I might be able to, if everything goes well, if Google doesn't change anything, if, right? So that, and we all know we can do it, and we all have the ability to get at it. Conductor helps make us fearless, right? But at the same time, you can't guarantee that. And the pay-per-click person who pulls a little slot machine, that's how they think about it. They put in $1, ding, 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 they get $1.25 back out. That gets a lot of play. So that's quite frankly the biggest obstacle I see.
What about for you, Ashley?
Yeah, so resources is something that we often have a challenge with, especially with the paid search team. It's easier for them to ask for resources. We have creative in-house, and so a lot of times they prefer to work on those programs. They're a lot fancier. They get the gold light, a lot more creative resources. So it's really educating is what we do a lot, that I do primarily, just to educate internal resources that SEO is valuable and that it will pay off long term. But it's really changing that mindset from the paid search team who says, I can do something today that will impact you tomorrow, to what can I do today that will impact the business long term. So really focusing on education and getting the resources all on the table helps.
MK, what's your biggest obstacle?
So the biggest obstacle that I faced, especially in a small, quickly growing company, was that it just seemed that our brand and our e-commerce teams were going off in different directions, different initiatives. They didn't match up, no communication, and what that resulted in was just, it felt like there was no trust between the teams, and almost like a hamster wheel sort of atmosphere of, we're negating each other's efforts.
All right, that sounds like a problem.
Yeah.
So Joseph, that's a pretty big challenge that you have. Tell us, so what did you do to, how have you overcome that? What kind of things have you done to overcome that challenge?
Well, actually, I have a session about it tomorrow, just a little plug, at 10:30, talking about the ROI of content, because that's a big issue. We actually had a fight about would we have money for content. The president said, well, I'm not sure really this content's going to do anything for us at all whatsoever. So we were able to use Conductor. We were able to go ahead and track the content creation all the way through to strengthening the keyword portfolio and the keyword pipeline, and all the way to traffic, all the way to more leads and more business. And finally, using the tools, the visual tools, the light bulb kind of went off. But yet today, our content budget is not a quarter, it's not a tenth. It's like a 200th of what we spend on pay-per-click per month. So we still have issues and barriers to face there.
All right, so using data, telling stories. What about you, MK?
Well, my background is in content development, actually copywriting, anything for site and email. So
Not the person with the scarf, though, right?
Right, yes. Not newspaper headline writing, but basically I took, the functions that drive me and those sort of assignments, where you need to understand the needs and motivations of the buyers to make sure that you're meeting their needs. I took that same approach to our team, and I tried to understand the needs and motivations of those that were responsible for brand awareness and brand integrity, brand growth, and the needs and motivations and pressures that those that were responsible for meeting sales numbers were facing. So what I tried to do was basically find a common thread between that, and it ended up being content. And that's where Searchlight came into play, because it really helped us to prove, on both sides of the fence, how we could begin to align our efforts and essentially continue to run in our own lanes, but starting to run more in the same direction.
So any interesting results to share?
Yes, actually. So we were able to get executive approval to restructure our teams. And for me in particular, I was able to move my role to be more focused on the strategic framework behind content, and then have others more focused directly on content development. And so I'm bridging that gap between brand and sales there. So.
Awesome. Ashley B, what's the single thing that you've done and anything interesting to share?
Yeah,
results-wise?
I've been at BirchBox for 4.5 months, so I would never come into a new place and change the way we're doing everything. But what I've really been doing is a lot of listening to the team and figuring out how to bring the right people together. So whereas when I started, it was pretty siloed, and folks from the editorial team weren't necessarily working with folks from kind of the product and product descriptions team. Now we're meeting together once a week and talking about priorities across the organization. So what it's starting to impact is just better content that drives to shopping experience for the customer. So instead of living as a content site lives over here and a shopping site lives over here, we're now focusing on how to bring these two things together. And whereas in the past, we'd sometimes do kind of quick wins to get up a page quickly for a promotion, now we're really thinking about, is it search crawlable? Is it mobile optimized? If not, maybe we shouldn't be doing it. So putting the customer over the quick win.
Yeah, we hear that a lot. One of them, in a leadership role, one of the most important things to do is just get people in the same room. And if you can create a collaborative environment, you can be successful. What about you, Ashley?
So again, education is something that we've really been focusing on and doing lunch and learns. And then I kind of was a fly on the wall. I just asked to attend some of their brainstorming meetings and didn't really at first offer any suggestions because I didn't want to intrude upon their space. And then after I was there for a couple times, I decided, okay, I'm just going to offer suggestions. And we've offered suggestions that they've taken, and then we've been able to track those results. And what we've been able to get more buy-in from other teams asking for it is, think of SEO as more of a consulting role that we can offer suggestions to other areas of the teams. So our paid search team, our PR team, our social team, for example, now are looking for SEO into them versus me always just saying, hey, you guys forgot to include SEO. Did you know if you did this differently, you could impact your results? So really trying to meet the other teams where they're at was really helpful for us to get more buy-in from other teams.
Awesome. So if you can leave this audience with just one thing, right? One thing which is you want them to take home to do differently, what would that one thing be? Joseph?
Yeah, I think the education piece is really important. You got to use Conductor to go ahead and track other experiments that people want to impact your website with. We just had this horrible back test where they wanted to take all the content off the page to make the product listings more prominent to increase conversions, even though it would tank the pages from ranking and traffic perspective. So we gave everyone access to Conductor that was influencing those decisions and start to build out workspaces and to show them really how to think about SEO. It's paying off good dividends for us.
Full disclosure, we told these guys not to promote Conductor in the event, so I appreciate that.
You got to use it.
Ashley?
Yeah. I think it's whether you're new to your organization or have been around for a while, do some active listening and then question things. So I came in again, and after looking around for a while, I asked this question, why would we ever create a page that wasn't crawlable or you couldn't find on your phone was just beyond me, because so much of our experience is people getting their experience from their phone, obviously with everything we do. And a lot of the direction we get from our CEO and the reason we've become the company that we are is by breaking through and doing new things. So don't think because the person before you or you've been doing something for a while is the right way. Just question it and try something new, and if it doesn't work, do something else.
Awesome. Question everything. How about you two guys?
So my biggest takeaway is just share and share often. Share your successes, share your failures. Every time you have a seat at the table is just another time for other members of your team to understand how SEO can affect them and what you're doing to try to move the bottom line. So just be fearless and continue to expand SEO into the organization.
Boom.
Yeah.
MK?
So mine seems very similar to Ashley, but you know, if you're experiencing something where you've got teams with differing priorities, I think it's just so important to listen, to build consensus instead of trying to push an initiative through. You know, get others on board, because you know, no one can be the expert in everything, and so when you can rely on your team members as subject matter experts, I think it moves things through a lot more easily than trying to shove it through on your own. So.
Awesome. Well, you guys are fearless. You guys are making it happen. And if you guys want to talk to these guys over the next couple days, they'll be here. So thank you very much for joining us. Round of applause for everybody. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So moving along here, we